another side road that I like to take that runs off of 146. Name of the street or the road escapes me for the moment. But this is it's a nice little side road. Now I think I can tell that I could have done without the t-shirt underneath my jersey, especially now. When I left the house about an hour ago, it was a little bit cooler. But I generally ride along the shoreline here, and I generally take these side roads where I get close to the water, as I did when I went through Stony Creek. And you can feel the temperature drop of that wind coming off the water. It drops a good 10 degrees. I mean, you can really feel it, especially this time of year. That water temperature maybe 48 degrees, maybe. So you really feel it. And if you're a bit warm, which I was from, the ride out to Stony Creek, that cold air hits your warm body, even and especially if you're slightly perspired, and it can give you a chill, that's for sure. I felt a little tired when I got on the bike this morning, and I think some of it had to do with my doing yard work yesterday, where it never seems to fail, no matter how active a person you are, what kind of exercise program you're in. God, when you get out doing yard work, it seems like you always use muscles you've never used before. My legs were really sore this morning when I got up. I was really kind of astounded by that. And I'm feeling much stronger now. And the reason I just brought that up is, I really love coming here. This is Joshua Cove Point, I believe. Way out there. I believe that's Joshua Cove up in that area. But what I was just saying earlier when I was riding, and my legs being a little bit sore, I've noticed that in the last 3 or 4 weeks, my riding habit, my riding style has become a little different, and which is to say that I'm noticing a few things about where I'm keeping my legs and my knees relative to the down tube and all that sort of thing, which is to say, I think for the longest time I wasn't getting as much power out of my stroke because I wasn't going straight down with my legs, if you know what I mean. So now I'm more of, I find myself kind of correcting my stroke, my pedaling stroke, by trying to pull my knees in just a little bit more when I'm riding, and I think that's been making that's been adding to my riding enjoyment. I feel like I'm a stronger rider because of it, and I finally am getting to the point where I'm much more comfortable with where my seat is located and my more aggressive riding position, which is to say I'm leaning forward more because of the seat position. A lot of that was just by chance. My changing my riding position, because I actually was out riding one time with Madeline, and I noticed that she was really leaning forward. And I thought, wow. And I asked her about it, and she said, no, I'm always used to riding like this. But I thought, that's got to be uncomfortable. But in fact, as you become more accustomed to that riding position, it's much more comfortable. So when I get in the groove, when I get into a cadence, when I get into a riding position, I generally try to think about some key things that I'm doing with my body. Where are my hands? Are they on the hoods where I want them? Is my butt on the seat where I want it? Am I pedaling with my toes and my balls of my feet and keeping my knees in somewhat? It all makes a difference. A guy recently asked me about, he commented on one of my YouTube videos, and he asked me about going from upright riding position to position that you typically are on a road bike. And I said, yeah, it took me a little while to get used to it as well. And one of the things that you don't realize, if you're sitting upright, like you're riding a hybrid bike, your head essentially weighs 10 or 12 pounds. But when you ride on a road bike, you're leaning over, and now your head weighs, or feels like it weighs, almost 40 pounds. And that obviously is going to translate to how it affects your neck and your shoulder muscles. And what needs development. You need to ride and develop those shoulder and neck muscles. And once they start developing, your neck pains will start to diminish. But anyway, I kind of pointed out that interesting little statistic that I read somewhere, that your head goes from weighing 10 pounds to nearly 40 pounds when you start leaning over and riding like a road biker.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will subscribe to this channel. Subscribe by clicking that subscribe box you see just right there. And as always, your comments are welcome, so please feel free to post them. This is The Road Biker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.